stunning looks than swift.
Pakistan too good for the Netherlands. Pakistan breathed a sigh of relief, and Pakistan pick up their first points of this ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2023. They had their moments, the Dutch, certainly in the first innings, for a brief period in the second, but not for long enough. An all-round bowling effort is what they needed, the Pakistan side, and that is what they got. 6 bowlers used by Babar Azam, and all of them picked up wickets. So that's what he's going to be happy about, the Pakistan captain. There were wickets for the Pacers, 3 for Haris Rauf, 2 for Hassan Ali and 1 for Shaheen Shah Afridi. Spinners between them accounting for the key wickets of Bastaleda and Vikramjit Singh, both of whom registered half centuries after Babar Azam and Pakistan were put into bat and managed what we thought was a below par 286. It's a comfortable win though by 81 runs to kick-start the campaign for this Pakistan side. This is Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Matchday. We'll hear from Urooj Mumtaz shortly. Before that, in studio, Wasim Jaffer has returned. Dale Steyn is still here. Too good, Pakistan, in the end?
Yeah, just too good. Good with the ball, good captaincy, when to use these seamers, when to bring on the spinners and squeeze. And the Dutch seemed to, when they needed to try and score up the scoring rate, that run rate required was just creeping up a little bit too much. They just didn't find a way to accelerate, and they lost wickets all the time going out throughout the innings. So there's always going to be a tough ask for them against this bowling unit. It's a good bowling unit, especially in these conditions, Indian conditions. They're familiar with that. They were very smart and clinical at the end of the day.
Not what we saw of them in the Asia Cup, though, Wasim. So I guess this would give the Pakistan bowling side also a lot of confidence. A wicket for Shada, wicket for Nawaz. Bowled well all round, you think, today?
I think so. I think they kept the pressure, even though it was a small partnership between Vikramjit and Bas Delete. But after that, there's nothing much. I thought the bowlers bowled well, bowled good lengths. You expected them to bowl well against Netherlands, but I think major challenges, obviously, lies ahead. But they'll be happy with their bowling performance.
Yeah, Urooj Mumtaz, I think at 120 for 2, we were certainly thinking, ooh, is it on? Is the upset on? And that is something that I'm sure you felt as well. But what stood out for you from what turns out to be a pretty comfortable win in the end?
Yeah, I think comfortable is probably the correct word that you can use in the end, considering when Pakistan wins by 81 runs. But allowing probably that partnership to build, maybe Babar could have brought back Haris Rauf slightly earlier, but you could understand why he was continuing with Shadab. As Shadab kept continuing to bowl, his lines got better, his lengths got better, and because Shadab will play a pivotal role in bowling those 10 overs come the big games, I thought that's where he wanted. And so I think one of the biggest pluses out of today in the bowling was Shadab. I think as he kept continuing to bowl, his lengths got better, so that will be a very good sign for Pakistan. And the other thing was Hassan Ali. I think Hassan Ali did a very good job with the new ball, we don't see it often that Shaheen Shah doesn't pick up a wicket up front. I thought he was the one struggling to land the ball in those perfect areas and swing it back in. I think a huge plus there would be Hassan Ali as well. So Iftikhar with a golden arm, we saw them in the Asia Cup as well. Having said that, Colin Ackerman probably missed the line completely to a fairly straight-edge delivery. But given the performance with the batting up front, where there were points to ponder on, I think the bowling units come good.
I think Hassan Ali is quite a story here, because it's never easy for a senior pacer to return and have that sort of impact. What was good about the way Hassan Ali bowled? It's not always we see him take the new ball in white ball cricket.
Yeah, that's what I think was so good about him. It's actually, he hasn't taken the new ball for a while now, and we were talking about who's going to open the bowling with Shaheen Shah Afridi, and it kind of disrupts things when you lose your usual fast bowling unit that opens the bowling, but he came in and did a wonderful job. It's the one time that I saw that he didn't really try and get the pace up to that 140, 145, so he was really effective on his lines, his lengths. He kept it simple. And the other thing that I enjoyed about him was that he had a good smile on his face. It looked like he was enjoying himself, and I suppose when you're enjoying yourself, things come a little bit easier. Had the score been a little lower, like a 250 or something like that, you may have seen guys try and search a little bit and a little bit of panic. But the guys, when they've got a smile on their face, things seems to come more naturally and a little bit easier.
Yeah, he's always had good celebrations, Hassan Ali. He's known for that, isn't he? He's known for a lot of things. But Urooj, he's had good celebrations. So I guess Pakistan think tank would also feel pretty good about this, because we could have gone either way. Hassan Ali goes wicketless at 7 and over, Dutch get close, maybe go get the unthinkable or unlikely result, and you think, they should have gone Wasim Jr. So this is now here to stay, I guess. Hassan Ali is Pakistan's man to go forward in that pace attack in the absence of Naseem.
Yeah, you'd imagine so. And again, like you say, it was an important one for Hassan Ali to come good. Because that all sets the cat amongst the pigeons. Losing Naseem Shah, Wasim Jr. probably not as ready as Naseem Shah is. So the wealth of experience of Hassan Ali comes in. And I think with the 286 eventually which they got, and getting once that Bastilleida and Vikramjit Singh partnership got broken, they could afford to put a smile on their face even after having dropped a sitter in the slip from Iftikhar. But again, part and parcel of the game. But I think Pakistan will take this. For me, again, the better point from out of all of this was Hassan Ali and Shadab both. Nawaz does his thing as usual, trying controlling the innings. But I think new ball will continue with Hassan Ali unless something drastically happens.
Come on, Urooj, there's always going to be one or two that go down. You're used to it by now. 1 by 81, that should be this be good enough. Now, Haris Rauf, though, just the sort of almost menacing fast bowler that you want against an opposition that doesn't play this kind of fast bowling. But we saw Mark Wood yesterday, Wasim, get that extra pace all wrong. I know it's New Zealand and Netherlands, but he's shown perhaps how fast bowlers need to bowl in this World Cup.
Yeah, he bowls the hard length and he's bowled the fuller length actually. He bowls really quick. When it comes good, when he pitches in that right areas, he's always in the game, and he uses that short ball really well. So he's got a lot of tricks up his sleeves, and he's there after Shaheen Shah Afridi. He's their go-to guy in the new ball, probably with the seam attack, and he delivered. I mean, Shaheen Shah and Haris coming good. That's a good thing for them. But like I said, bigger challenges lies ahead.
100%. But that hard Indian length is something pacers from all the visiting teams. Pakistan themselves have not been here in a while, and it's not like our surfaces are the same. You got a few more on the other side of the border. Then sometimes things happen here with the fast ball. I don't mean to compare New Zealand yesterday to Netherlands as a batting side, but it looked like you pointed out, England just came in and bowled, weren't quite sure.
Yep.
Pakistan did make life hard for the opposition batters today, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Their lines were tighter, they were straighter. Every time I looked, Bastilleida was hitting a ball back down the ground. Bowlers were kind of attacking the stumps, and if there was a little bit of something, they're always kind of challenging the inside and the outside edge, but almost on off stump, middle and off stump kind of line. So there's going to be the odd one where a batter gets himself a little bit of room or opens up and he gets you through point, or you get too straight and he clips you through square leg or mid wicket. But a lot of the time they're kind of challenging those stumps the whole time, and it brings your technique into question all the time, But last night when we watched England bowl, it was almost like, we're going to run in and we're going to bowl as fast as we can and something's going to happen. And that's not the case. You bowl a couple wide, it's 6, it's 4, now you're going at 10, 12 and over. It's tough to drag the game back from there. But when you watch Haris Rauf tonight, Shaheen Shah Afridi, they're coming down, they're bowling at that top off stump, similar to the way that all the other teams New Zealand bowled last night, and really challenging guys' techniques. That's where you're going to get your wickets.
Bowlers have done a terrific job to defend a below par score. So naturally, the player of the match is a batter. That's just how it works, then.
Yeah, always. Always.
Saud Shakil's innings we must speak of, though. Very important, and a selection that not all of us would have been sure of for Urooj. But that 68, I guess there's a reason that he's been given player of the match award. Without that, I wonder where this game would have been.
Absolutely. As much as Dale might be feeling this not being given to a bowler, but it was surely the 286 that set up the score, and it was his scoring rate which actually sort of enticed Rizwan to score along with him and get into that big 120-run partnership. So Saud Shakil, again, remember, he wasn't in the one-day squad, got a surprise call-up to the Asia Cup, didn't play a game there, and then does good runs in one of the practice matches, and now here. So I think he's made a mark for himself. Very good temperament and very solid in technique. The one criticism that would come for Saud for his non-selection for a very long period in the white ball version was his scoring rate, and I think he's done well in both the practice game and today as well, scoring at around 130. That's the partnership in there as well. So I think without his runs, it could have been a different story. Netherlands could have approached it differently. They probably didn't have to take too many risks because their skill and temperament in the longer version against quality side is what let them down.
Yeah, that's the point Wasim makes as well. Tougher opposition lies ahead. From what you see of Saud Shakil, does he look like a batter who will be up for it? That was a very good innings today, under pressure when they were 3 down for 38.
Yeah, he looks a solid player. He's got double hundred in a Test cricket recently, and whatever chances he's got, limited chances, he's done really well. He plays spin really well, and they had Aga Salman, who's somebody who does both, bat and bowl.
Yeah.
But they've gone with a specialist, which I think is a good move, and he's somebody who's very dependable, plays spin well, rotates the strike, and strike rate is not an issue. I mean, we've seen him play really good shots, and I think he's a good player.
The Dutch go down fighting, but have we seen enough evidence to believe that they could upset a team or two this World Cup?
Absolutely. I said that, I think the other day, I said as this competition goes, they'll get better and better and better. And today, it proved that they were in it for a while. But 100 overs is still a long time. It's almost like a test match,
Yeah.
5 days is a long time to ask a team to perform at their highest level. 2020, there's a lot less time. Some things can happen. But 100 overs, as this competition goes, you'll find other guys will get form. The problem that I have now, or what they might have, is Logan van Beek.
Yes,
Looks like he's got an injury.
Big player for them.
Who's a big player for them. Bowls and can bat. I know he comes in late in the order, but he's a big player for them. So I'm curious as to how bad that injury is. But I'm sure as this tournament goes along, they're going to catch a team on their day. When everything comes together, they're fielding, they're going to get a couple run-outs, a couple good catches, and teams are going to be going, oh, that's jammy, that's unlucky. But that's how they win their cricket games.
And we talk about Pakistan not having visited India, and therefore perhaps this would be a little foreign for some of these players. The Dutch don't come to India either.
No.
So the fact that they had 8 bowling options, start with a spinner, they showed promise with the bat, there's enough evidence to suggest that they could leave this World Cup with at least 2 points, 4 points, if not more.
I think so. I think, they, like Dale says, completely agree with him. We're going to see at least more than one surprise. And they were in the game, and they put
120 for 2 game on.
Yeah, and even while bowling, they were 3 down for 40 or 50, and then that partnership stuck. Had that wicket fallen, you never know, the game could have gone 220, 230 to chase. Pakistani lower order also batted well. So, good signs we've seen so far.
I guess you're just relieved, Urooj, aren't you? That if they are to cause the upset, your number's out of it now, Pakistan's numbers out of it now. But on a very serious note, it was so important to just get the result, I guess, from a Pakistan point of view, after the Asia Cup and the injury to Naseem Shah. I don't know if it's a fair question to ask after they've won, but I'm sure it's on their mind as to how much time they'd like to give Fakhar Zaman. You got Sri Lanka, and then you've got the big one against India. Is he at least going to be in this team till then?
Well, if you've given him the run, you give him the Indian game as well, because it makes absolutely no sense for him to hopefully but not fail in the next game. And then you make that big change and put Abdullah Shafiq. And then, I mean, yes, he knows it's a World Cup, but there are pressures no matter how much you deny it. So now that Fakhar Zaman started the World Cup campaign, I'm sure he's in for up till the India game. And for Pakistan's hope, they'll really be hoping he comes good for that all important. I mean, all games are important, but for his form, this is probably his last chance, these 2 games, because I'm pretty sure that after the first 2 more games after this, if he doesn't perform, I'm certain Abdullah Shafiq will walk in. So important from that point of view. Everybody will be feeling the pressure of that. But like you say, more importantly, to get the jitters out of the way, be it Netherlands, but 2 points very important today.
One more thing I think we were looking for Pakistan to improve upon is the quality of their spinners. Because Shadab, that was probably the least effective we've seen Shadab Khan in a long time in the Asia Cup. Nawaz and Shadab, between them a wicket. Do you sense this will be a confidence booster? They bowl a lot better, and you see them bowling better going forward?
Yeah, I mean, Nawaz, you know what to expect from him. There's not much mystery about his bowling. He's very much wicket to wicket. But Shadab will be happy. It'll give him a little bit of confidence. But like I said, when you bowl to better batsmen, that's when we get to know. He had his troubles in the Asia Cup. So when we play better opposition, I think we'll get to know, how good he's bowling at this point of time.
They're not a team that necessarily hit the ground running. They don't necessarily tick all boxes. But from what you've seen, this team is dangerous. It could possibly get on a bit of a roll after this result, Pakistan, or do they still have too many things that you're not quite sure about if they made matters for themselves difficult in a game against the Netherlands?
Yeah, they'll take the win. I think that's the most important thing. You're off to a win, and against a team like Netherlands, which can create a little hiccup, there's always that little question mark in your mind. You've got to be on your game today. So they'll take the win. They'll look at everything as a whole, where they can improve with the bat, where they can improve in the field and the ball, as all teams will do, and they'll try and get better as this competition goes on. But for today, you know, they were good. They probably didn't score the runs that they wanted to. They'll identify those areas of where they made mistakes. But with the ball, I mean, they were exceptional. Nawaz had a wonderful game. I think guys that slip under the radar, you don't notice. He scored 39 with the bat and got a wicket and bowled well and fielded well. You know, those kind of guys are also crucial to their team doing well through this competition.
And he got the wicket of Bastilleda, who we should mention here, in spite of his team going down. You said it at, I think, half-time, didn't he? We're going to just go see him knock another 40, 50. Man gets 4 wickets, 67, I believe. I hope I've not got this stat wrong. That's the first time ever that a player's got 100 or a 50-plus score and more than 4 wickets in back-to-back ODIs. His last game was the one against Scotland in the qualifiers. If he played for any other team, he'd perhaps be among the greatest ever players of all time, or in the world of his generation.
And he looks a good player. You know, like you watch him. I'm very impressed. There's been a lot of guys that have hit great straight drives. You know, I've been watching that. I love a guy that hits a great straight drive.
No, you don't.
Jock Callis.
I've seen you through your illustrious career.
Beautiful. Did you watch me bat? I had a couple of them. You know, but he was impressive. Great technique, good temperament. You know, he's just bowled his 4 overs, fielded 50 overs, and then he tried to carry his team over the line with the bat. He's a serious cricketer. Yeah,
I like you as an analyst, Dale. I really like you, but I've seen what you did to batters who hit you straight down the ground next ball.
I didn't like it, yeah.
But he's some player, Bastilleda.
He's a very good player, yeah. I mean, he can walk into a side as a bowler, he can walk in as a batter also. Fantastic cricketer, and hopefully his form should get better and better. And that's a good hope for the Netherlands.
Yeah, I don't know if PSLs and IPLs are as excited about Dutch cricketers, Urooj, but if occasionally there's been the exception, Bastilleda seems to tick every box.
And I'm pretty sure most teams would be more than happy to have him. I don't see a reason why not. A complete cricketer, complete all-rounder, as you will call it. And apart, I mean, the straight drive that you guys are talking about, even the short ball that he hit Rauf for 6, after sort of being decepted 4-1 as well, middled it, cracking sound of the bat. So to see a player from one of these associate countries who hasn't played and faced 150 consistently, what I loved about was he was absolutely unfazed by Haris Rauf, and the composure to take him on was quite superb. So I'd imagine he'd walk into plenty of franchise cricket sides around the world.
Yeah, good luck to him. He's cool guy, Bastilleda. Just once the job was done, off to county cricket he went. Didn't play the final of the qualifiers, didn't mean anything. But this is a good start to him. So we'll keep an eye out for Bastilleda. This may be a really good tournament for him, regardless of how it goes for the Dutch. I'm going to end by the last wicket that we saw. Haris Rauf against a poor number 11. Now, I'm sure Wasim Jaffer was saying that's unnecessary. Dale Steyn was saying nothing wrong with that. You know, he just got hit for 4. Just fast bowler things, even if the man in front is a fast bowler himself.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to take them. You know, wickets, they're not easy. You got to take them. You got to celebrate them anytime. And it doesn't. The wicket column doesn't reflect who you got out. You know, it just says wicket. You know, it can be the best batsman. It can be a tail ender. It doesn't matter. It says wicket. So Haris Rauf, well deserved, boy. Well bowled.
If you were the match referee there, you have no problem with that.
No, I don't think he did anything wrong. Just celebrated too much.
Yeah,
nothing wrong.
He's a character, Haris Rauf. They need him to fire, and maybe this is the kind of spirit that Pakistan need. Urooj Mumtaz, Haris Rauf, feeling that way in a World Cup.
Yeah, he's the kind of guy he's got all the energy behind him. He loves making something happen for the team. Even when you talk to him, he's always buzzing around, and he can't sit in one place. And I think that's the energy that translates into the team. Again, nothing wrong with that in the end. He had a matchup on, irrespective of who's in the front. And he's probably one of the players who's got that ruthless sort of killer instinct about him. Most fast bowlers do, but he's definitely the one that lifts the entire energy. So a good one for him, and of course the 3 wickets will mean a lot.
All right, let's say thank you very much to Urooj. I need to excuse her now. She's to set her alarm and join us in the morning for Bangladesh Afghanistan. So thank you very much, Urooj. Lovely to have you back. Yes, and Wasim will be with you as well. Dale, you've got an early morning. We'll see you a little later in the day on our studios. You could be on Star Sports in the morning, building up to Bangladesh, Afghanistan. So, gentlemen, off you go. Go get some rest. It's always a pleasure getting thoughts from Urooj Mumtaz, Wasim Jaffer and Dale Steyn, and you'll hear plenty more from them as the World Cup has only just begun. Tomorrow, it's time for Bangladesh and Afghanistan to make their bound. We got a double header. So South Africa and Sri Lanka at Delhi That should be a game that Dale Steyn's got a very keen interest in. So look forward to your company then on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPN Cricket for Matchday. And do download the mobile app if you haven't already. There's so much cricket coming your way, lots of news. Rahul Dravid, I believe, has given an update on Shubman Gill, and it may not be as bleak as we thought a little while back. So let's follow that story as it develops. The India's game is still a couple of days away. We'll see you on the big double header tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Stunning looks, then swift